Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. So either last week or the week before, I shared this little wreath made out of whatever it is they make it out of, like twigs, I don't know, that I got from the pound shop, and I said I'd come on and show you how I would decorate it. So I'm going to decorate it in a winter theme. This has already got kind of quite a rough paint on it, which is like a pale grey, so I'm going to go with that, and we're going to, not necessarily Christmas, but winter theme. Alright, so I'm going to make it really simple. At the moment I'm really enjoying making the flowers using the Floral Essence Stamp and Punch. Okay, where's the punch? So that's the punch that goes with it, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is the reason I joined Stampin' Up, was for the punch and stamp bundles, because I love the versatility, I love how it makes my life easier, I love how quick it is, I don't have to start getting my big shot out, I'm a little bit lazy, and I love the punches, they're awesome. I think I've got nearly all of them now. I do kind of like collecting them. Us crafters like to have full sets of stuff, don't we? And I do like to have full sets of the punches. So it's photopolymer. Now it's stained there. I think it's clean. Let's just check. Let's just check that that stamp is actually clean. I believe it is, but photopolymer will stain, especially with the reds and deep pinks. And it's not a big deal, it's actually a sign of a good quality photopolymer, because cheap imitation stamps are often made out of silicone, you know, which is like the same stuff that you'll seal your bath with. Yeah, that's what they use. So when you see cheap stamps, that's why they're cheap. These are photopolymer. So I'm going to use soft sea foam, which is a nice pale sort of grey blue. Now I could use my stamp mat, but I'm going to see how it goes. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Okay, now I could, if I wanted, continue to colour in those petals. I could use my blends, I could use my watercolour pencils. I'm actually going to leave them with the white background, because I think it's going to look nice. Alright, I don't know how many I'm going to do. I think I might have 2 flowers. Alright, so if I do, I'll just keep going. Talk amongst yourselves. Anybody who's new to my channel, you'll soon realise that I don't edit my videos. So if I'm doing something that's a bit repetitive and boring, you can always click the fast forward button. I won't be offended. Okay, but I show the full process of what I do so that people can follow along. The whole idea of my videos is to help give ideas, and hopefully you'll give it a try. Right, I'll just put that to one side a minute, and I'm just going to really quickly punch these out. So much quicker than cranking up my big shot. And I don't know if there's anybody else out there who suffers with fibromyalgia like I do, and I suffer quite badly as well, funnily enough. Don't laugh at me, but apparently I have golfer's elbow. Alright, never played golf in my life, but apparently I've got it. And so the repeated turning of the handle of the big shot, you know, it can hurt my arms. Whereas with the punches, I've got nice even weight, I can hold it either side, and I don't struggle with that. And these don't make my arms hurt. And it's quicker. It's just less pressure on my poorly arms. Okay. And I could listen to that crisp cutting sound all day long for some reason. It's like, you know how popping bubble wrap is really satisfying? For me, punching with these is really satisfying. It may be a bit strange, I don't know. It has been said, but There we go. And they're easy to line up, they're so easy to use. And then obviously you squeeze it shut, pull the little button down and it starts flat. What more could you want? It's awesome. Right, so I am going to just give a little bit of shape to these. Again, if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I don't like flat flowers. Can't stand flat flowers. No, I'm only joking. You can have them how you like, but I like to put a bit of shape in them. Now I've got a ball tool shaped like this. I've just dropped it down the back of my radiator at the far end of my desk. I can't bother to get it, so I'm using this tool. And that's good because it shows you that you can use anything, so long as it's got like a rounded end. You know what I mean? You could use, yeah, I've got a paintbrush here, look, I could use that. You don't have to have specialist fancy tools, you can just manage with what you've got, okay? So just bear with me while I just give these a bit of shape. And all it does is it breaks up the fibres of the paper and it makes the petals just lift, so you've got that little bit of shape. Alright. Now, I might normally use my glue gun at this stage, but mine's a little bit dodgy. It's actually got an American plug on it, so I have to use it with an adapter, and it's just a little bit dodgy, so I'm just going to try and manage with good old glue and glue dots today. But if you want, if you're trying this project and you want it to last, you know, you want to bring it out every, you know, Christmas or winter or Thanksgiving or whatever, or you want to make them to sell, then I suggest you attach your pieces with a very strong glue or hot glue. Alright. I can't do many more petals than that because it's starting to hurt my arm. Right. Bumming golfer's elbow, what's that all about? I've never ever played, well no, I've played crazy golf, but I don't think that counts. Oh dearie. Right, so if you've seen me make these flowers before, I like to stick them together using dimensionals, and that was a tip given to me by another lady called Leslie, and it just makes them, it just gives extra dimension than just gluing them. Okay, you put the dimensional in the middle. Am I even in shot? I'm crafting away, no idea if you can see me. And then hopefully I've got enough petals, and you're just offsetting them each time. Hopefully I've got enough petals to make maybe 2. You can make as many of these or as few as you like. Some people like these kind of wreaths to be decorated all the way around, so you could put them all the way around. I like just a small cluster and then having the rest quite plain. That's how I like them. Alright, so I'm just going to, I'm holding both sides there, and I'm just going to prise the top petals up and the bottom petals down. It just encourages more dimension, and then I've got enough to make another one. Alright, and then I've got some other tricks up my sleeve to decorate this inexpensive wreath really quickly. Now, you don't even have to buy a wreath. You could cut a circle out of cardboard, out of cereal box, or whatever, Amazon packaging, whatever, anything. You could cut a circle, cut it like a donut shape, and make your own if you want to be super frugal. Alright, but I quite like these ones from the pound shop because they are that, you know, the whatever it is, twigs, whatever. Is it it'll be willow or something, won't it? Whatever. I'm not quite sure, I'm not an expert. It's that. I'll just do one more, just simply because I've got them left over. Alright. And I'm going to use items from my crafty stash to decorate this with. So the only thing I've actually bought is the wreath, because everything else I already had. I do think that having a good flower punch in your crafty collection is essential. There's a few things that really you can't manage without, and I do think a nice flower punch that will always make you, you know, your go-to flower is essential. I would like another one in a smaller size as well, if I'm honest. I'm sure Stampin' Up will bring one out at some point. Alright, so I've got my 3 flowers. Let's move all of that junk out of the way. So let's have a look at this wreath. How can we make this look really lovely? So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got some of this dotted tulle. Okay, so I'm going to I'm just going to tie it in a knot, like so. Don't even need to glue it, doesn't matter if you can see the knot. I might stick one of the flowers over it, I don't know yet. Alright, if I put it down there like so, then I'm just going to literally wrap it around. Okay. Move that up a bit. There we go. Let me get it off the roll, it might be easier. Alright, wrap it around, pulling it. I'm all fingers and thumbs today. Alright, I'm just wrapping it, pulling it quite tight so it doesn't then slip. The good thing about this tool is it's got quite a lot of give, can you see? So that will grip onto the whatever these twigs are. I think it's willow. I don't know, it might not be, it might just be random twigs. It was only from the pound shop. Right, so I'm just going to literally drag that around there, and then I'm just going to tie that in a knot. Oops. Okay, I'll just pull that tight, and I can just tie that in a knot. I don't even have to glue it, I can just tie it and it should hold. Or like I said, use a strong glue or hot glue. Okay, is that going to hold? I'm struggling with my fine motor skills, I think, today. Come on, how hard is it to tie a knot? Blimey, there we go. Right, so that's got my tool, my lovely dotted tool all the way around there. I think that's really lovely. So now I'm going to attach my flowers. I'm going to just use dimensionals, to be honest. I think they'll stick. I don't think it'll be much of a problem. So I'm going to start on that, and then I'll just build up a little cluster. I think 3 is a nice number when you're doing clusters of flowers. I'll put one there, and one down the bottom. Okay. Or shall I have it just there? I'll have it like that, so I've got all 3 of them together. Just give that a good press. No, that's not how I want it. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in another punch, and this is the Stampin' Up leaf punch, and this also makes your life super easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to punch some of these. Don't know how many I'm going to need yet, so I'll do a few. Do 6, I'll do 7, I'll do 8, and then, you never know. What I don't use on this, I'll use somewhere else. Alright, and then I'm just going to move that to one side for a moment, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Up trimmer with my lovely super sharp blade and see if I can cut myself some spirals. So I'm just putting my card, let me just get that out, I've got a piece of card in it there. Where's that spike? Let me just clean my track. Get out a piece of card stuck in there. Okay, so I'm just going to go up just over the cutting track And let's see if we can make ourselves some spirals. Okay, so there's one, 2. Ooh, look, it's cutting that nice and thin, isn't it? Let's try some more. 3. I'll do another one. I'll do another one for good luck. I like to have even numbers now. 4. Right, so I've got 4 of those. Alright. I've got that to one side for a moment. And what I'm going to do here, let me see if I can curl it with my, will it curl with my bone folder? Sometimes, some cards you can just curl with a bone folder. It's not having it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to wrap it, just wrapping it around this tool that I've got. Okay. Don't know how much of it I'm going to need, so I'm just pre-prepping. Wrap it around, and then the heat of my hands should keep that there and keep it curled. And this is a nice little project to just sit and make, you know. Maybe have YouTube on in the background, bit of music, whatever, sit and make them. Once you've done one and you've figured out what you're doing, you could probably knock them up in no time. So there we've got a spiral. You could, you know, if you could make these for craft fairs, they'd be lovely. And as I say, you can make them as plain or as decorative as you like. You can get, another good idea is at the pound shop you can get quite inexpensive, you know, like baubles for your tree that are in the shape of Christmas presents and things. You can get those and you can hot glue them on to wreaths. They look super cool. Okay. Because when I look at wreaths in the supermarket, they're well expensive. I'm not paying loads of money when I can make it myself for a couple of pounds. No chance. So if you've got a room full of craft stuff, don't be buying what you can make. Get making. Get making. There we go. Right, I'll have enough with 3, I think. And then I've got my leaves here, so let's just give them a bit of a curl. And let's see what we can do. And another thing that I've got, which is out of my personal stash, is something to make a really kind of rustic, shabby bow for the top of this. And I'll show you what it is. I have done a previous video showing this material that I use. Just bear with me while I curl these, because I like to show you the full process and not edit. So there's the top, this is going to be the side. So for my bow for the top, I've got just a ripped piece of cotton. Now I've done a previous video of this. I source the cotton by buying cheap bed sheets, and then you rip it up and you fray the edges, and you've got some lovely shabby cotton. Now what I could do is I could dye it the same colour as that. Don't want to, I want it white. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie myself like a shabby bow, so it doesn't really matter if it's a bit rough and ready, because it's kind of meant to be. Alright. Okay, let me just get that how I want it. Give it a crinkle up. If you've got seam binding in your stash, that also makes lovely, lovely bows. So when I've just cut it there, if I just pull it, it'll all fray and look all rough and shabby. And that's what we want. We want it to be like that. Alright, and then we can stick that to the top of our doodah. So what can I stick it on with? I'm going to just use a dimensional. Again, I would suggest using hot glue, but I can't be bothered to get mine and sit with it and fiddle about with the wires whilst it works again. And then what you can do is you can you can twist that around like so. Let me get a, what have I got? What have I got that I can glue this on with? There we go, we've got some glue dots here. Okay, so let me just find my sharp tool again. Alright, so if I just twist that cotton around and put a glue dot on the back, then I can attach that to there. Alright, and if I just twist that one around as well, it just looks cute. I'll just fold it over a little bit. Alright, these are awesome to decorate. Go and get yourself some, they're brilliant, fun. Alright, so that just looks like, you know, like it's just the wind's kind of blown it and it's meant to be like that. Alright, so let me just zoom out a little bit. So we've got our flowers, we've got our tulle, we've got our shabby cotton bow there. So let's have a look where we can put some spirals and some leaves. So with the leaves, I'm going to attach these with glue dots, if I can see them. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, glue dots are awesome. Sometimes you just don't want glue because it could be in an area where it's just not going to really dry very well or something like that. Okay, so I can just move that about. Alright, that's one. Another glue dot. Let's have a look. I'll stick that one behind there, like so. So easy. You don't have to be like a high-class professional floral arranger to be able to do these sort of things. Just tuck things in. More often than not, it's always going to look good. It doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter if it's not perfect anyway. Okay, it will still look cool. I just need the glue dot on the other side of there so I can stick it to the underside of the flower. Okay, let me just adjust that so you can see some of it. There we go. Alright, and then we'll have some lower down, and then we will attach our tendrils. That's what I'm calling them, the silver tendrils. Stick that on there, under there, attach it to the flower like so. Okay, so you just keep adding them until you're happy, until you've got a nice full kind of a display. There's no right or wrong with how many you use or don't use. You can have it as full or as simple as you like. Alright. I think we've got enough there. So the tendrils, let's have a look. So I'm going to get myself a glue dot. Just going to roll it up ever so slightly in my fingers, and then attach it to one of the spiral ends, and then I'm just going to tuck it underneath one of the petals like so. Alright, now you can have it just like that and just leave them to fall freely, or you could tuck it around, which is what I think I'm going to do. Just tuck it around. Will it tuck around? Maybe not. Okay, awkwardness. So what I'm going to do is I'll just I think I'm just going to tuck it back around and stick it back in. Another glue dot there. Roll it around. And then just, you know, play with it and see where you want it. I'm going to have it like that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's do another one around here. So they're not necessarily in the actual spiral shape that you started off with, but because you've spiraled them, they'll keep a nice shape, and you can pull them, you can have them tight, and you can use them to decorate, and all that is a sliver of cardstock. How awesome is that? Tuck it under there, get another glue dot, Alright, attach it to the end one. Just have a bit of a play and see how you want it. I'm going to have it like so. And I'm going to tuck it underneath that flower like that. And just have it coming, protruding over the top like so. And there you go. Alright, as I say, you could do another cluster there if you wanted. I've kept it quite minimal so that the video doesn't go on forever. And there's our lovely cluster. And I think that's super pretty. And that's just from £1. From the pound shop, cheapo wreath. So there you go. Go and have some fun. Have a look what you've got in your collection. Make sure you have got a really good flower punch. So this one is the Floral Essence one. Matching punch and stamp bundle. I couldn't live without this. And then we've got the lovely leaf punch as well. And then you'll always be able to make yourself a lovely little cluster like so. I think that's really pretty. Quite impressed with that. Go and have some fun. Give it a try. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye.